Amid soaring tensions between Jerusalem and Beirut, an Israeli drone came crashing down to earth in southern Lebanon on Sunday, something the Israeli Defense Force says happened during what they described as operational activities, all in a week in which Israel has been increasing its military presence along the border with Lebanon. Lebanese state-run media reported that Israeli warplanes were being flown over the south of the country throughout the day. And Israel is widely believed to have carried out a number of airstrikes earlier on Monday, targeting members of Hezbollah in Syria's capital Damascus and killing at least one militant. Israel regularly carries out airstrikes against Iranian targets in Syria, and Damascus maintains there have been at least 8 air raids in the country in the past 2 months alone.
The Black Lives Matter protest, it was planned for tomorrow. The Supreme Court ruled it illegal, and then now the Court of Appeal also rejecting the protesters' bid today.
Well, I think most citizens would be very happy with that news. It sounds like a victory for common sense. We had the New South Wales Police Commissioner on last week saying that should people still attend, which I'm sure will happen, but it'll be much less numbers than if they won the court case, but a few hundred might still show up. He'll be handing tickets to as many people as he can, $1,100 tickets. So let's see if they think it's worth the price of admission. The protesters, plenty of sympathy there for prisoners being mistreated and the sort of things they're talking about, particularly one case at Long Bay, which is quite shocking. But at the moment, it's a really concerning thing in terms of the spread of COVID-19.
From France, where the first batch of 5 Rafale fighter jets have taken off from India. The jets are being flown by pilots of the Indian Air Force, and you are seeing visuals right now of the same. They are scheduled to arrive at the Ambala Air Base on the 29th of July. Ambala will be the home of the first Rafale squadron of the Indian Air Force, called the Golden Arrows. The pilots will be making a refueling stop at the Al Dhafra Air Base near Abu Dhabi before the final leg of their journey to India. In total, the jets will cover a distance of 7,000 kilometers from France to India.
I think we should welcome any ceasefire. There's still a de facto war in eastern Ukraine with casualties to deplore almost every day. So any attempt to put down the weapons is a positive development. But you are right to say that there's been dozens of attempts in the past, and why would this ceasefire be successful? So I think the big difference today is that this current ceasefire is linked to international diplomacy and the Normandy format peace talks, which is a platform that brings together Russia, Ukraine, but also Germany and France. Now, those 4 countries, they want to come together as soon as possible to discuss the situation in Ukraine, but they also agreed that, first of all, there should be a ceasefire in place before heading for a next meeting.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un hosted an event marking the 67th anniversary of the signing of the Korean War Armistice Agreement. Now, the regime's state-run Korean Central News Agency reported Monday that Kim paid his respects to the North's fallen soldiers, saying their combat mentality will always be remembered as the spirit of socialism. On Sunday, Kim also awarded key military command personnel new pistols called Baekdusan. He said he had high hopes such a weapon of revolution can help the North achieve its self-reliance of revolution.
Dozens of Rohingya refugees feared drowned while trying to swim to Malaysian shores have been found alive. The Coast Guard says they were hiding in bushes on a small island. All have been detained as Malaysia does not recognize refugee status. More than 700,000 Rohingya fled Myanmar after a military crackdown in 2017. Most are living in camps in Bangladesh.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is urging the British public to shed some kilos. He said he would encourage people to lose weight over the next few months in order to reduce their risk from COVID-19 and to prepare for a possible second wave.
The reality is that obesity is one of the real comorbidity factors. It's losing weight is frankly one of the ways that you can reduce your own risks from COVID, and actually it's one of the ways you can generally improve your health and protect the NHS.
Last winter, displaced Syrians living in tents in northwest Syria had little to protect them from the cold. Now in summer, the temperature regularly climbs above 40 degrees Celsius, and the hot weather brings new dangers. In Khatib camp, it's left families with a difficult choice.
The problem is that if you open up the tent, scorpions and snakes will come in. And if you don't, you will die of heat.
Parents say that despite their best efforts, they can't always keep their families from being stung, sometimes multiple times, by black scorpions. And while the stings are a painful nuisance for most adults, they can be deadly for small children.
The skies above Alaris were filled with planes on Sunday as emergency services battled to put out the flames below them. The fire broke out late the previous day, and a combination of strong winds and high temperatures saw it fan out across the region in central Portugal. The death of a 21-year-old firefighter has also been confirmed after his car skidded into a ravine whilst on operational duty. In total, over 600 firefighters were deployed to tackle the blaze and help evacuate local residents from their homes. The region in central Portugal is frequently hit by wildfires, and while a number of houses were engulfed by the flames, on Sunday evening most evacuees were allowed to return home.
Tonight, the FBI and local authorities on an urgent search for 3 suspects in the tragic killing of 1-year-old Ace Lucas. The little one and his twin brother sleeping on the couch at around 2:30 Wednesday morning when police say security cameras captured these 3 shadowy figures outside, appearing to be armed with handguns. Children's toys strewn on the back porch of this Canton, Ohio home. Suddenly, a hail of gunfire. His brother surviving, held here in his mother's arms during a vigil. The cold-blooded killing of the 1-year-old baby, capping what officials are calling one of the worst crime bursts in Canton in recent memory, with 2 other murders in just 24 hours.
Someone got out of their car and shot one of the protesters.
He shot with.
Do you wanna sit on camera? Go for it.
A car drove up. We were taking the streets, and he shot Garrett. Garrett is the husband of Whitney, a quadriplegic in a wheelchair, and he is her caretaker and has been for like 10 years.